everyone, and welcome to Sip and Spin. My name is Skylar, and over here in a cute tan and white striped dress is Brittany.
Hello. This is a variety podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing.
Mostly nothing.
Especially me, today.
Brittany doesn't have a segment today, which is fine. It's been a long week and going to be a long week, so she just doesn't have a segment today, which is completely fine, because sometimes we all need to take a break and relax. And so this is Brittany's relax week, which she deserves, because she works hard all the time.
What is Skylar going to talk about?
So today our topic is ancient. So I'm going to be talking about a ancient Greek philosopher, and probably not the one you're thinking of that everybody knows. But people know this guy too, and he's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear. But what are we drinking?
So we are drinking red wine, because we got red wine 2 weeks in a row. And we are going to be drinking this wine called Jam Jar. I have never tried it. Brittany's never tried it. But when I went to the wine store, asked for a wine that would be somewhere in the middle between dry and sweet, because I don't like dry and Brittany doesn't like sweet. And she said that all of her coworkers and her boss who tried it really liked it and thought it was neither too dry or too sweet. So it is a 12.5% ABV, so even if it sucks, it'll get good real quick.
Yeah, so I mean, let's bust it out. And it's a Shiraz, right? Or what is it?
I have no fucking idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sweet Shiraz 2020. So it's packed with juicy berry flavors and hints of dark chocolate. Jam Jar makes a versatile partner for everything from cheeseburgers to chocolate pudding.
I mean,
Best served slightly chilled, it offers luscious fruity goodness in every sip. I offer luscious fruity goodness.
in every sip.
Yeah. That was a bad joke. I shouldn't have made that joke.
Is that going to be our new tagline?
I saw the word fruity. I couldn't resist. There goes the whole bottle.
Hey.
It's okay. We have another one downstairs. So hopefully it's good, because we now have to drink the whole thing.
Oh, twist our arm.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Not bad. But you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Skylar likes a red wine.
Apparently I like red wine. I just was like, I don't know if I was just too, stubborn to try it. I was like, it's going to be bitter. I'm not going to like it. But other than the Ghost Runner red wine, every red wine we've had, I've liked.
But yeah, not bad. Jam Jar. It's a fun name.
It is. And it's got a cute little top.
Pattern. Yeah. It reminds me of like a picnic is where you would
Yeah.
pull this out at a picnic or something.
It's a very cute bottle.
Yeah. All right. How are you?
I'm good.
She hesitated.
So, we just have to bandage up my finger.
One med kit run later. That's why you don't put cats in curtain jail. Now Skylar knows.
Yeah. I deserved it at that point, so it's whatever.
Yeah. Anything else to discuss?
I don't know, I'm just trying to think. I mean, we've got some time to kill.
Yeah, but people came here to hear about... I want to hear about this guy. Based on what you said.
Yeah, well, we can hop right in, and then we can just chit-chat after. There's something, I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, so today, we are going to be talking about Diogenes. So Diogenes, also known as Diogenes the Cynic, was a Greek philosopher. Yeah.
If anyone ever addresses me, I want them to follow it with the Cynic.
Brittany the Cynic.
I mean, it works.
Yeah.
I'm pretty cynical.
But yeah, he was a Greek philosopher and one of the founders of Cynic philosophy. He was born in Sinope, S-I-N-O-P-E.
I'm not sure.
Sinope.
It sounds good to me.
Let's go Sinope. I'm not good at Greek. I studied Greek for a week. It didn't stick. Continue.
It won't be one of our language episodes.
No, not unless I get back into it, which I want to. My next one will probably either be another Mandarin or maybe Latin, because Latin is another one that I've been enjoying learning recently.
That'd be cool. Summon some demons.
Yeah. Oh, if Richard's not here, we can use the Ouija board.
Could. Get wine drunk and do the Ouija.
That sounds like it. Hold us to that, guys. Patreon bonus. So yes, he was born in Sinope in 1412 or 404 BC.
Okay.
Either one. And then he died at Corinth in 323 BC.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense to me either, because that number's lower.
That's how BCE goes, right?
I thought that's how AD went.
Oh.
Wait, no. Because this is AD, right? Because BC was before Christ, and then AD was after whatever the fuck.
Something religion, I don't know.
Yeah, something religious.
But, so because the old ones, it decreased.
Yeah, because it is BC. For some reason, I was thinking BC was...
Oh, you kind of just confused me. I was like, oh, I thought I was right.
I don't know. I don't know numbers.
But what would that be then, if the one was 1412?
Are you asking his age?
Yeah, basically.
Wouldn't it be 91, maybe?
That's what I'm asking. I forgot the two numbers you said. I'm not good at math.
I'm not fucking good at mental math either.
I mean, it's not
1412
relevant.
minus 323. 89. I was only off by 2.
Oh, so you got to live pretty old. Which, I mean, for back then.
Yeah, especially when you hear how he lived.
Great.
You're
Can't
like,
wait.
how did you make it that long, my guy?
It's the cynic in him.
So, yes, Diogenes was banished from Sinope when he was caught trying to lower the intrinsic value of coins by mixing the metals and making more, basically lowering the value of currency. And his father was like a mint, like he was like a coin minter. He made coins, basically.
Yeah, okay.
And then, so he was caught trying to debase all of the
shit in.
coins. And so then he got banished.
Alright.
And there's no, like, actual proof of it, but it is suspected because on some of the coins that were found in Sinope that had his father's mint stamp on it, they were messed with. So
That's cool.
That's what they think happened.
Huh.
So after he was kicked out,
Do you know what age he was when he was kicked out? Okay.
No. The thing about him is a lot of it's word of mouth. Because he doesn't have any writings written down. He wrote, like, all these things, but none of them, like, exist now. They're all gone.
And also, for being so long ago, I didn't figure it out. I was just curious. Yeah. If he was, like, a kid, they were just like, leave!
Get out of here.
A teenager. What's up?
He's Patroclus.
Yeah, like, it's kind of, I was like, how old was he?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, he was just fucking with money, and they were like, get out. Like,
you need to stop and leave.
Then he moved to Athens and immediately started criticizing the way that everyone lived.
Love it. Icon.
He modeled himself on the example of Hercules and believed that virtue was better revealed in action than in theory.
Okay.
Which
I mean,
is good, yeah.
You can't really hate that.
Virtue, you can't just speak on being virtuous.
Yeah,
you need to actually do it.
Be a decent person.
And he used his simple lifestyle and behavior to criticize the social values of a corrupt and confused society. He would sleep and eat wherever he wanted, and then he just toughened himself up against nature. He was just, he lived in a tub or in a jar.
He lived in a jar? What does that mean?
So, you know those, like, really large ceramic, like, jars that they would have? Like, they're, like, massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would just sleep in those.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. That's what he did.
Alright.
Or in, like, the wooden, like, circular tubs.
Yeah.
That's where he would live.
Survivor.
He had always said that he was a citizen of the world rather than just being loyal to one place. It was very, like, Chiron. And because he was like,
yeah.
You know, who's to say that one man is better than... That's kind of how he was. He was like, I'm not loyal to Athens. I'm not loyal to Sinope. I'm just everywhere is everywhere. And I'm just a dude of the world.
He was like the first hippie.
He was. And even Socrates would later say the same about himself, but Diogenes did it first. Diogenes did it first.
Alright.
And every time I have written down Socrates, all I want to be is like Socrates because of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I love that movie.
God, I haven't watched that in forever.
Oh my goodness. I watched it like a month ago again. It's so good. Yo, Socrates. I love that movie so much.
Now Skylar's gonna recreate the whole movie. Forgetting.
It'll be most triumphant. If you guys can't tell, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is one of my favorite movies.
I had no idea.
The sequel was god-awful, but...
I don't know if I ever watched the sequel.
Don't. I watched it one time, and I will never again.
Oh no.
So, yeah. Diogenes made a virtue of poverty. Poverty. He made a living through begging and would sleep in a large jar in the marketplace.
Okay.
He was also known for basically being a philosophical heckler. He criticized Plato, disputed his interpretation of Socrates, and sabotaged his lectures, sometimes distracting listeners by bringing food and eating during the discussions.
Love that.
I'm like, he's such a dick. I love him so much. He was such an asshole, and I love him for it. I think it's phenomenal.
That's great. That's good stuff.
And later he was captured by pirates and sold into slavery, where he eventually settled in Corinth. But the guy that he was going to serve was like, "What's your trade? Like, what do you do?" And he was like, "Man, I don't do shit." Like, he was
in jars. Like,
he was like, "The only thing I'm good at is telling other people what to do." He was like, "So if you want to hire a slave who's actually just going to be like, if you know anyone who's looking for a master, that's what I can do." And the guy was like, "I like your style." So then he hired him to be a tutor for his kids.
So he just like talked himself out of slavery.
Yeah, essentially.
Alright. He's on a roll, man.
But there is where he passed his philosophy of cynicism to Crates, who taught it to Zeno of Citium, who fashioned it into the school of Stoicism.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of like a basic overview, and then we'll get into some stories. Because these stories are the best thing.
I'm excited about these stories.
So, according to one story, Diogenes went to the oracle at Delphi to ask for her advice and was told that he should deface the currency, which is why he started doing it.
That's what he did.
But after what happened in Cynic, he decided that the oracle actually meant that he should deface the political currency rather than actual coins when he was banished. So he was like, maybe the oracle meant it differently. And so he was like, I'm going to roll with that.
I think you take what you want from oracles.
Yeah. And so then he went to Athens and made it his life's goal to challenge established customs and values. He argued that instead of being troubled about the true nature of evil, people merely rely on customary interpretations. He had actually arrived in Athens with a slave named Manes, who escaped from him shortly thereafter, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, like, I'm so sorry that, like, you..." And Diogenes was like, if Manes can live without Diogenes, why not Diogenes without Manes? Because he was all about, like, he mocked that extreme dependency on needing someone else to take care of you.
Yeah.
And he saw that a master who could do nothing for himself as helpless, and he held great contempt for people like that. So, like, when Manes escaped, he was just like, whatever, live your life, man.
YOLO.
He considered his avoidance of earthly pleasures a contrast to and commentary on contemporary Athenian behaviors. And this attitude was grounded in disdain for what he regarded as the folly, pretense, vanity, self-deception, and artificiality of human conduct. So he was just, like, very against everything. He was like...
Yeah, that's what I'm gathering.
He hated everything and everyone. He was like, I'm done. Yes, he lived in a clay jar belonging to the temple of Cybele. He destroyed the single wooden bowl he had. His only possession was a single wooden bowl. But when he saw a peasant boy drink from his hands, he destroyed it because he was like,
I could do that. I can do that better than you.
Yeah, his exact statement was, "Fool that I am to have been carrying superfluous baggage all this time." And he was just like, man, if I can drink from my hands, I don't need the fucking bowl. So then he just destroyed it. And
I was weighing me down anyway.
I was like, okay. And in Athens, it was not okay to eat within the marketplace, but he would eat there. And when people would ask him, like, why, he would be like, well, I was hungry when I was in the marketplace, so I'm going to eat in the marketplace where I am hungry.
Right.
And he used to stroll around in full daylight with a lamp. And when asked what he was doing, he would answer, I am looking for a man. Modern sources would often say that Diogenes was looking for an honest man, but in ancient sources, he is simply looking for a man because the behavior of the people around him means that they do not qualify as men.
All right.
And so, yeah, Diogenes was looking for a man, but found nothing but scoundrels because he thought that they were not men. He was like, you guys are just a bunch of idiots. So he would just carry around a lamp and just be like, I'm looking for a man. Like,
nope. I love that. Same. There are no men.
There are no men. Men don't exist.
They do not exist. If he couldn't find one, what makes you think you can?
Exactly. When Plato gave the tongue-in-cheek definition of man as featherless bipeds, Diogenes plucked a chicken and brought it to Plato's academy saying, behold, I've brought you a man.
Shut up.
No, that actually happened. He literally took a chicken, plucked it, and was like, here's a man. And so then the Plato's academy had to add with broad flat nails to the definition of man.
Oh my gosh. That is amazing. I love that.
His beef with Plato is my favorite thing ever.
He has no chill.
No.
I love it.
No chill. The stories of Diogenes and Alexander the Great were set in Corinth. So the Plato thing and everything else was in Athens. So now we're in Corinth, where his stories with Alexander the Great happened. These stories are the ones that are proved to be the hardest to prove to be true. But they use like this really big word that meant like not certain but widely accepted as truth. I think it was like acrophal, something like that. But basically,
supposedly.
Yeah. But basically, it just meant that there's no way to prove that it was true, but it's very much like widely accepted that it actually did happen. Gotcha. Yeah, so I don't know if they're true or not, but they're fucking hilarious. So
I love it.
The accounts always say that they only exchanged a few words. One account was that when they met, Diogenes was relaxing in the morning sunlight, and Alexander was so excited to meet Diogenes and asked if there was any favor he could do for him. And Diogenes replied, yes, stand out of my sunlight. And then Alexander declared, if I were not Alexander, then I should wish to be Diogenes. Diogenes replied, if I were not Diogenes, I would still wish to be Diogenes. That's one account of their conversation. The second account of their conversation of what they could have been talking about was that Alexander had found Diogenes like looking very intensely at a pile of human bones. And when Alexander asked him what he was doing, Diogenes explained, I'm searching for the bones of your father, but cannot distinguish them from those of a slave. So either way, he was hardcore.
Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong, though.
No, he's not. That's why I love him so much. Like, he's not wrong. Like, that's why I love him. I think he's phenomenal.
Yeah, he sounds great.
So when he died, there are conflicting accounts of how it happened.
Okay.
Some said he literally just held his breath until he died. He just decided one day, he was like, I'm done, and then just held his breath. And I was like, that's legend behavior.
I would love for that to be true.
That's my favorite one. I'm like, this is how it needs to happen.
It's downhill from here.
Because it seems very, like, apropos for him.
I mean, yeah.
Just straight up held his breath. He was like, I'm done with this shit. I'm out. Although others did say he got sick from eating raw octopus, and others say that he suffered an infected dog bite.
Oh.
So those are the three options for how he died.
Definitely the coolest.
Yeah.
Let's go with that one.
When he was asked how he was wished to be buried, he left instructions to be thrown outside the city wall so that wild animals could feast on his body.
Great.
When someone asked if he cared about that, he was like, not at all. Like, as long as you provide me with a stick to chase the creatures away. And then so they were like, but how could you use the stick if you're dead and lacking consciousness? He was like, if I'm dead and lacking consciousness, then why should I care what happens? And
just like threw it right back at him.
Yeah.
Love it.
Because he was like, yeah, if you give me a stick, it'll be fine. It's like, but you can't use the stick. And he's like, well, if I can't use the stick, then it doesn't matter.
Why would you ask?
Like, then it literally doesn't matter. Because in the end, like, Diogenes still made fun of people's excessive concern with the proper treatment of the dead. He was like, you're dead, so it doesn't matter. And he held on to it in the end, because even with his own body, he was like, I don't care about proper treatment, just chuck me to the wild animals. I don't care. So he stuck to his guns till the very end.
Yeah, I mean, and he lived a long life, it sounds like.
Yeah, 89 years.
Like, shit.
So after his death, the Corinthians erected... What? The Corinthians made a pillar in his memory, which was a dog made out of marble. It was a resting dog made out of marble. And this is because many anecdotes of Diogenes refer to his dog-like behavior and his praise of dogs' virtues.
It would actually be kind of bad if he did die from a dog bite then. Though.
Yeah.
Like, that's a little bit poor taste, but he also might like that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he could have been just absolutely thrilled. You're like, yeah, like...
they showed me.
And he was all about it because he would bite people.
I was taking a sip when I got that little bit of information.
Yeah, she almost spit it back out.
She said it so casually. Like, oh yeah, by the way.
He would bite people.
I mean, same. I used to do that when I was a kid.
I did when I was really little. Like, when I was teething and stuff, I would bite people.
I was not teething.
Oh. Okay. I think the only time I bit someone when I was growing out of teething was when my brother was teething and he bit me. So I went and told my dad that Brett had bit me, and he was like, well, bite him back. And then so I did, and then we got into a biting war, and we were both bleeding by the end. So
oh my God.
And then my dad got in trouble with my mom.
That's a classic dad response, though.
Yeah.
Bite him back.
That's very much how my dad was. It was like, oh, just if someone like does something, like do it back, like, or oh, you have fallen, walk it off, rub some dirt on it, you'll be all right.
Classic.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, I was not much of a biter, but apparently you were, and that's fine.
Yeah,
you
and
and Diogenes would really get along.
So, if I wasn't so materialistic, maybe. I do like my things, though.
Yeah, he was not about things, but...
Yeah, I used to think I wanted to live in a tiny house. I could not live in a tiny house.
I want to live in a tiny house.
I like too many things. And plus, with my 3 animals, no way in hell am I living
No.
in a tiny house. My 4 animals. Sorry, Gizmo. But you're the easiest one to deal with.
I was trying to think of which one because I just agreed with you that you had 3, but it wasn't Gizmo that I forgot.
Celeste.
Yeah, I think it probably was Celeste.
You and her will never get along.
I love her so much, though. She just doesn't love me. I'm just gonna drink my wine. I have some funnier stories. We gotta get through his whole dog thing, and then...
Oh, there's a whole dog thing?
Yeah. That's why they made a statue of him. That's why they created a pillar, a memory pillar, a pillar in memoriam, whatever the fuck it's called.
I get what you meant.
Yeah, that's why it was a dog. So many anecdotes of Diogenes refer to his dog-like behavior and his praise of dogs' virtues. It's unknown if Diogenes was insulted by being called doggish and then just made a virtue out of it. And he was like, if you guys are going to call me that, watch it. Watch it happen. I'm going to be that.
He like steered into it.
Or if he decided that himself. So it's not like if they were insulting him and then he just kind of just went with it.
Or if he was like, I'm a dog.
Yeah. When asked why he was called a dog, he replied, I fawn on those who give me anything, I yelp at those who refuse, and I set my teeth in rascals.
Put that on a shirt. No one will understand.
No. New merch.
Yeah. TM.
We could make so much merch out of Diogenes
We'll
stuff.
have a whole Diogenes line.
Yeah.
Collab. Hit us up on the Ouija board if you want that to happen.
Yeah, Diogenes, come through. But Diogenes believed that human beings lived artificially and hypocritically and would do well to study the dog.
Yeah.
A dog will eat anything, make no fuss about where to sleep. Not Lana.
My dog was a human in the past life, I swear to God, and she still thinks she's a human.
Yeah.
The most undog dog.
My outside dogs are like the easiest to take care of. They just want to they're just living their life. They just want to lay down. You give them food or a bone to play with, they're good. The 2 inside dogs want your attention all the time. Bo almost knocked over my wine the other day because I wasn't petting him because I was trying to work on one of my stories. So I was typing and I had my wine and he almost knocked it over because I wasn't giving him attention, and it was also on June 1st, so then I almost called him homophobic, but I refrained from accusing my dog of a hate crime.
Oh yeah, happy Pride Month.
Yeah, happy Pride Month, everyone.
Woo!
Where was the dogs? Oh yeah, so they will eat anything and make no fuss about where to sleep. Dogs live in the present without anxiety and have no use for the pretensions of abstract philosophy.
Well, my dog definitely has anxiety, but I'm sure it's true of other dogs.
Yeah. Of most dogs. But some dogs do have anxiety. I feel like Blue has separation anxiety because anytime she's in a room by herself, she barks until someone else comes in that room. She won't leave the room to go be in a room with other people. You have to, she will stay in that room and bark until someone comes in the room with her. And I'm like, what? Why? But yeah, and dogs have no use for the pretensions of abstract philosophy, which, yeah. In addition to these virtues, dogs are thought to know instinctively who is a friend and who is a foe, unlike other humans who can be tricked. Diogenes stated that other dogs bite their enemies, and I bite my friends to save them.
Okay. Good.
So that's why the pillar for him was a dog.
Alright. Respect.
Along with Antisthenes and Crates of Thebes, Diogenes is considered one of the founders of Cynicism. The ideas of Diogenes, like those of most other Cynics, must be arrived at indirectly. No writings of Diogenes survive, even though he is reported to have authored over 10 books, a volume of letters, and 7 tragedies.
Dang.
And
I would have liked to read those books.
right? Yeah. But they're just are gone.
Gone.
Cynic ideas are inseparable from Cynic practice. Therefore, what we know about Diogenes is containing anecdotes concerning his life and sayings attributed to him in a number of scattered classical sources. So, like, even though he wrote all those things down and we don't have it, he lived out what he wrote down. So people are like, this is how he lived.
So this is what he believed.
Yeah. And it was, like, pretty accurate because he lived exactly what he preached.
That's fair.
He practiced what he preached. That's the official phrase.
Yeah.
So Diogenes believed that all the artificial growths of society were incompatible with happiness, and that morality implies a return to the simplicity of nature. So basically all these just excess things and excess everything else is what makes you unhappy, because the more you want for something, the less happy you are.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's pretty on the head.
His simplicity and how he believed and how much he believed in and lived by his words and his ideals. The Stoics would later claim him to be a wise man, or sophos. And in his words, humans have complicated every simple gift of the gods.
We do tend to overcomplicate things.
We do. We take a lot of things for granted.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about his beef.
Yes. I like a good beef.
Diogenes had nothing but disdain for Plato and his abstract philosophy. Literally, he hated Plato so much. He hated Plato. Yeah, my next sentence was, man's hated Plato with a burning passion. It was beautiful. Because Plato studied under Socrates at some point. Okay. But Diogenes viewed Antisthenes as the true heir to Socrates, and even shared his love of virtue and indifference to wealth, as well as disdain for general opinion. Diogenes shared Socrates' belief that he could function as a doctor to men's souls and improve them morally, while at the same time holding contempt for their obtuseness. Plato once described Diogenes as a Socrates gone mad. Okay. Like, you fucking crazy person. And Diogenes is like, you want crazy? I'll give you crazy. So yes, he taught by living by example. He tried to demonstrate that wisdom and happiness belong to the man who is independent of society, and that civilization is actually regressive. He scorned not only family and socio-political organization, but also property rights and reputation. He rejected normal ideas about human decency, and he is said to have always eaten in the marketplace, urinated on people who insulted him, and would masturbate in public.
Alright. The urinating on people that have wronged you is interesting.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine that someone insults you, just pee on them.
They definitely probably never insulted you.
Yeah.
So
it would shut them up real quick.
They would definitely leave you alone at that point, which is the goal, I imagine. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah. So he was just out there eating in the marketplace, sleeping in a tub, masturbating in public, and peeing on people.
Living the life. Living his life, man.
The term cynic itself comes from the Greek word kinokos, which means dog-like, from kion, which is dog. One explanation offered in ancient times for why the cynics were called dogs was that Antisthenes, taught in the Cynosargus Gymnasium in Athens, and the word Cynosargus means the place of the white dog. So the Cynics took that to their advantage.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting.
And so there are 4 reasons why the Cynics are named the Cynics. First, because of the indifference of their way of life. Like dogs, they eat and have sex in public, go barefoot, sleep in tubs, and at crossroads. Crossroads?
I really like those crosswords, man. Dogs.
The second reason is that the dog is a shameless animal, not in the way of being beneath modesty, but as superior to it. The third reason is that the dog is a good guard, and they guard the tenets of their philosophy. The fourth reason is that the dog is a discriminating animal that can distinguish between its friends and enemies, so those that they recognize as friends who are suited to the philosophy, they receive them kindly, while those who are unfitted, they drive away like dogs by barking at them.
Love that. I feel like I've probably definitely barked at someone before.
I can't say that I have.
I probably did when I was a weird child.
The more you talk about what you did as a child, the more I'm convinced you may have been a furry.
May have been. No comment. I mean, okay. My first crush was definitely the fox version of Robin Hood, so...
You know, that's fair. I don't fault you for
He's
that.
still pretty hot. Like, I'm still into it. So, maybe I was a furry. Maybe I was meant to be one. All along. They didn't have to draw animals so hot, Disney. Like, come on. Robin Hood was a babe. Maid Marian was good, too.
I'm trying to think of if I had any crushes on animated animals.
Simba was pretty hot.
Lion King 2. Kovu?
Yeah.
That lion was hot.
I
have one.
Everyone has an animal they thought was hot. Come on.
Yeah, Kovu is mine. I feel like I really have to think. I don't know if there's that many that come to my head.
I mean, technically, most of the Fruits Basket cast are animals.
Okay, but I don't simp after them when they're in animal form.
They're still an animal. Technically. You're out here sipping for a seahorse, man.
Shut up. Hattori's fucking hot.
He is. No, I do. I'm saying, technically.
Hatsuharu's hot. Now, Hatsuharu's the one I feel bad for simping over because he's like, what, 16?
Yeah.
But he's animated so pretty. He's so pretty.
He's very pretty. I'm trying to think of more hot animal characters. I know there's got to be another one. What was the mom cat on the Aristocats? She's pretty.
Duchess?
Yeah.
Yeah, Duchess was pretty.
Thinking very hard.
I know! It's like I can't come up with any. Like, all the animals I'm thinking of, I'm like, nope, didn't have a crush on that one. Because I went through Lady and the Tramp in my head. I went through Oliver and Company in my head. I went through Finding Nemo.
Dodger from Oliver and Company. I did like Dodger.
Mufasa was hot, too. You know, before he died. So, Mufasa and Kovu. Apparently, I'm into lions.
Scar's kind of hot, too.
Yeah, but he killed Mufasa, so I kind of always hated him for that.
Yeah, but I also am Scar, personality-wise.
Who would I be in The Lion King?
Zazu?
Really?
Maybe. Because you kind of
I feel like I don't fret that often. I feel like I'm usually the one you're fretting over. But I am an anxious little ball of energy, so probably...
I was thinking more of, needing to know and do everything. It's kind of very Zazu. So I could see that being you.
Yeah.
You're definitely not carefree enough to be Timon or Pumbaa.
No.
I think of the main, it would probably have to be Zazu.
Yeah, but I like Zazu. Aha, Bagheera.
You like cats, it seems.
Yeah.
You're a little attracted to the cats.
That's why I like Kyo so much.
Oh, it's funny. You learned something about yourself.
Yeah. I was really sitting here, I'm like, can't really think of any.
And she listed every animated tiger and panther.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Shere Khan.
Oh.
And then, of course, from Aladdin. Raja's pretty.
I love Raja.
Raja was great. Raja deserves more love.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think, Aladdin is the animated kids form of the Mummy.
I've never seen the Mummy.
Bisexuals everywhere. You've never seen the Mummy? God, that was you're in love with everyone in that movie when you watch it. Everyone's so pretty.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I want to make you watch it.
But yeah, Aladdin is definitely... Because Aladdin's hot, Jasmine's hot.
The rug's kind of hot.
Raja's hot.
Yeah, it's kind of like a children's The Mummy.
Okay.
As far as, being attracted to everyone. I I mean, even Jafar is kind of hot. I'm just gonna say it. He has moments.
Aladdin's dad was hot.
Douchebag, but he was hot.
Yeah, he's a dilf. He is a dilf. I would let him ruin my life.
Yeah, and that like had a good sequel. The Mummy had a good sequel. They are the same. I'm just now coming to this conclusion.
That's so funny.
Aladdin is the Mummy for children.
But yeah, it's like if I was gonna let one man objectify me and be a douchebag and an asshole and let him get away with it,
Sugar Ray?
it would be, well, yes. But it would be Aladdin's dad. But
How
yes, also
fast
Sugar Ray.
stopped. One man. Alright, 2.
Okay, 2. Fine. Fine. Sugar Ray and Aladdin's dad.
How did we get here?
And there's a perfectly good Hattori right there who treat me so well.
That would be a hard choice.
Just fuck them both.
Yeah.
I almost said something, but that's taking it too far.
What?
No, I can't say it out loud. I refuse to say it out loud. You could probably guess what it was gonna be.
I mean, maybe, but I feel like I could go a few different ways. I'm trying to figure out which one you were going with.
What's your first guess? And then if it's not correct, I'll tell you what I was thinking.
Well, you said fuck them both either at the same time, so like a threesome is where I went, or you were going to bring more of the family in.
Well, I was gonna say I have 2 holes for one reason.
There you go. Threesome.
And I was like, I can't say that.
That's new merch. That time she was taking a drink.
I almost spit it all out. Oh God.
I don't know how we got here.
I don't either.
You were worried about this episode being short.
I know, it's been over an hour. But God knows how much we're gonna have to cut. We may not even cut any of it. It'll just be...
That's up to you. Should we get back on your guy?
Yeah, I don't even know where I'm at anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure how we got to where we are.
Oh, because I said he would drive away those who are like dogs by barking at them, and then I called you a furry.
There's the title. And then I called you a furry.
That's actually a pretty good title.
People won't expect it from the subject.
No. They'd be like, what? You'll just have to listen and find out. So I only have 1 paragraph left.
Okay.
And Diogenes was the leader of it all, and he is brilliant. And one more quick story that I just absolutely love is that one time this rich guy invited Diogenes over to his house and told him he couldn't spit on anything that touched the floor. So Diogenes literally spit in his face.
I have a few questions. Why would you invite someone over and immediately tell them where not to spit? Like, is that something we should all be doing when we invite people over?
I don't know. Maybe it's just like spitting was more common back then. I don't know.
I guess. Were they all just like chewing tobacco?
Maybe.
Like, well, come to my home. Here's where you can't spit.
You can't spit on anything that touches the floor.
I mean, the face works.
Yeah. And so one of Diogenes' sayings is that in a rich man's house, there's no place to spit but in his face.
All right. Wonder where he got that saying.
And he literally just wanted to live simply, not bound by the corrupt rules of society that made no sense because it looked down on people for just living against the norms, especially when the corruption of society is what forced people to live like that because they were poor.
Yeah.
And so his philosophy was just fuck you and your societal norms. And I love him for that.
Yeah, I mean,
The end.
I feel like Gen Z would love this guy. They would be the generation for him.
I have a post to show you. It is a Tumblr post. That is my favorite Tumblr post. So the first one says, fuck all philosophy except for whatever the hell Diogenes was trying to teach. And then the next reply says, direct action with a picture of Diogenes' statue with a dog that says, in a rich man's house, there's no place to spit but his face. And then another reply says, how about just being polite and going into a debate with those who hold different beliefs than you? So then someone else replied, how about you eat my shit and hair? And then so someone else said, staying true to spirit. And then it's Diogenes. It's like, and that's why we must live in a natural state. And it's Plato going, your cynic philosophy is no better than that of a lowly dog. And then so Diogenes goes, a dog you say, Plato? And then bites him in the arm. And it said, the OG of vicious burn. And then there's another reply that's a picture that says, Alexander the Great found the philosopher looking attentively at a pile of human bones. Diogenes explained, I am searching for the bones of your father, but cannot distinguish them from those of a slave. And then another reply said, Diogenes said you couldn't spit anywhere but in the face of a rich man, because once this rich dude invited him into his house and literally told him you can't spit on anything that touches the floor, so Diogenes spit in the guy's face. And it says, here's a very good painting of Diogenes in his tub that I had the good fortune of actually seeing earlier this year, and there he is, in his little tub. And then, so, hey Diogenes, Plato says that man is a featherless biped. And then it's Diogenes' eyes glowing and knowing exactly what he has to do next, which is to pluck a chicken and hand it to Plato, saying, look, I found a man, forcing the Plato's Academy to change the definition of man from featherless biped to featherless biped with flatbed nails. And that's Diogenes, and I love him. I think he's great.
Yeah, I dig that dude, which I've never heard of him, so this was very informative. And I feel like now we all know how to find a man. I've always kind of wanted chickens, so just go pluck a chicken, people. And that's how you find a man.
And then you'll have a man.
And just hand it to any dicks in your life and be like, this is a man. And then just walk away.
No explanation.
They'll be so confused. Because they're dumb and now you're smart and you learn something.
Yes. Diogenes is just for the people.
Yeah, he really was. And clearly it was working, because, like I said, I would be surprised if I lived to be 89 years old.
Yeah. He was just toughing it out in nature and living simply and was like, fuck you and your mom. That's essentially...
Yeah, hanging with dogs, fighting people, like...
He gave absolutely zero fucks, and that's how we should all live our life. And as a massive people pleaser, I'm like...
You're the opposite.
Sometimes I just like to pretend in my head that...
Play out these scenarios.
Yeah, I just like to play out the Diogenes scenarios in my head, because even though I am a people pleaser, in my head I want to be like Diogenes. I just want to take no shit from anybody.
Yeah, I think we could all take a little note out of his book. Or page, that's the thing. Take a page out of this book.
Sure.
Right?
I said a phrase wrong earlier too, so...
Yeah, because we don't give fucks here.
We
so
don't.
It's fine.
This is a fun episode, I think.
It was. I think we got a lot of good merch ideas. Like...
We'll have a whole Diogenes line. And it'll just be quotes from this episode.
Yeah, this is fun. I like this dude.
I liked our tangents, too.
You let me know if you want me to cut any of them out.
I don't think we should, because they're at an hour and 10 minutes, which is a good podcast episode length.
I think so. Just want to make sure you're good with your two hoes line.
I am two hoes, but I meant two holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, we're two hoes.
We are two hoes.
So, it works.
And I love that for us.
Yeah, there's more merch right there.
We are two hoes, and I love that for us.
Two hoes with two holes.
Would it be two hoes and four holes? Or two hoes with two holes?
I thought I said with. Maybe I said and. Or four.
We'll
figure it out.
We'll brainstorm it.
Workshop it.
We'll workshop it.
You keep waiting for that classy merch. It'll be like those best friend necklaces.
One says two hoes, and then on the back it says with, and then the other one is just two holes.
Yeah. Perfect. Take it to print. Well, before we keep saying more damaging stuff to our reputation, should we spin?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this out of the way.
Okay.
I'll get off the wheel. Yeah, before we keep talking about sleeping with Fruits Basket characters. Yeah, if you want to follow me on TikTok, I have... My last 2 TikToks were both Fruits Basket related.
Yeah, you can find her at Gleam YKS.
Yeah. And all my social media is Gleam YKS. And Brittany's social media is Whimsy Dream or Whimsy Dreams. Our podcast is Sip in Spin Pod, but all of our link trees will be in the show notes, so go check them out.
Yeah, and if you want to buy any of that merch, let us know. And we'll make it.
We'll make it. If you actually do want that merch, let us know. We'll figure something out.
We have a lot of ideas. You guys don't know.
I have a friend who does clothing, who does vinyl on clothing. Like, she makes, like, prints on clothing, so I can hit her up.
That'd be cool. We also just need artists. If you're an artist and you want to collab, let us know.
If you wanna make our slutty merch.
It's just that's one of the categories on the website. Slutty merch. I love it.
I just tried to hit my jewel and she made me laugh, so I spit out all the smoke. I didn't even get to breathe any of it in.
Should we spin?
Yeah, I've got the drink wheel ready. Let's go.
Okay. This is a mess. Okay.
So what did we get for our topic?
We got, once again, music.
Woo!
So it seems like we just did it, but I honestly don't think it's as soon as it feels like, maybe.
Yeah.
And we've done true crime like so many times. Like, I think it's fine.
Okay.
So we're gonna do music again, guys.
Woo! Talk about some music.
Which was fun last time.
I liked that episode
It
a
was
lot.
a lot of fun. So
I simped real hard.
she did. She did. I think I know who I want to do. Also, I wasn't sure because I simped for her. She's a goddess.
And guess what we're drinking?
What are we drinking?
A drink we like.
Oh, yay! Was that what we did last time?
Yeah, that's what we got last time. We got music because you drink mango White Claws and I drink the iced tea White Claws. And I've been wanting to get the iced tea White Claws again, so now I'm thinking I may as well.
Nice. Okay, so it's gonna be like, it'll be a nice episode. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
I'm
So
excited.
fun.
All right. Any closing thoughts?
No, because now I'm just thinking about sugar.
And her 2 holes that she has for him. We thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry that you had to stick through this mess of a fucking episode.
Yeah, if you made it this far, God, you're a trooper.
Yeah,
and
seriously.
you should definitely let us know. Let us know why. Why are you still here?
Yeah, if you're still listening at this point, DM us. I was gonna say
Slide
a phrase.
into the DMs.
I was gonna say a phrase, yeah, because you know on YouTube it'll be like, if you made it this far, comment down below this.
If you made it this far, slide into our DMs and just call us a whore.
Yeah, my degradation king will really like that.
Yeah, so you'll probably get a reply at that point.
Thanks.
Wait, no, let me rephrase that. If you're over 21,
Yeah,
slide
if you're-
into our DMs.
Yeah, if you're over 21.
If not, comment, we owe you therapy, because we probably do.
Yeah. So either DM us saying whore, or DM us saying we owe you therapy, depending on your age.
Both are fair.
Yeah, both are accurate. We need therapy for ourselves, too. Hey, Talkspace.
Until then, we have wine, and that is our cue to go.
Yeah, that was Lana saying goodbye. We got another bottle of wine downstairs, so
Yeah.
let's see where the night takes us.
Let's see. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks.
We'll sip with you next time.
Don't say that.
Bye.
Bye.